What's good, YouTube? Natural and Professional back with another video. This video is by, I don't want to pronounce his name. I don't want to mess it up. I think it's, I don't want to mess his name up. But it's a true rasta man, speaks on dreadlocks. I don't want to say Seala Media. That don't sound about right. But I've been watching the guy for a minute. I don't know how I cannot pronounce his name. But he's another wise man like the one I did with Zaylock. You know, it's just one of those days that I just like to listen to wise people just to motivate me, you know, to gain that great knowledge. And then plus, I think it's I forgot what holiday it is, but yeah, man, it's just one of those days that for the people that's gonna watch these videos, man, just gaining a lot of knowledge on, you know, the Rastafarian culture, and you know their beliefs and understanding their greatness and why people like myself like love the Rastafarian culture and why we choose to follow it. So I think that's the best way to put it. But let's see what he says. What he says about dreadlocks. I know his name is Jerome Butler though. I just don't know what the word for media is.
Blessings and welcome forward once again to Reasonings Right Here at the Tree of Life. I'm Jerome Sage Butler. I want to give thanks to Rahman, Bob, and for Isa Char as well too. Yeah. This next topic is very, I would say, it's a very popular topic nowadays, and I think about a year ago there was this incident. I think was it in a corridor was it a train station?
He got some dope dreadlocks.
I think a black girl accosted a white male for wearing dreadlocks and said, "That's not your culture. Why you parroting black culture?" And it sent ripples across the internet, right? I watched a couple of videos, people talking good, bad, and arguing, and some saying good things. I think I watched this one that brought a good perspective. So I said, let me do one from my own understanding, informed by some of my research. All right, I have locks. What do I refer to my locks as? You know, interesting. I refer to my locks as my hair. Do you know that? Wow. Yes. I'm not in this dreadlocks philosophy. I'm sorry. Sorry to offend people who are deep into dreadlocks philosophy. I am not. This is my hair. Now, I'm gonna say it again, because it might sound a little condescending, sound a little like I'm warped or going off a little. This is my hair. See? My H-A-I-R. That's the word used to represent what this is, right? This is my hair. There are lots of philosophies around locks, dreadlocks. Rastafari has a strong religious perception around locks as a representation of your natural self, one that is not skewed by Babylon or the Eurocentric influence upon African peoples in the West. Hence, I think that's where the young lady was coming from when she was saying that locks is black people's traditions, right? There are another set of people who say black people's hair mat naturally. The reference is going back to Guantanamo Buddha with matted hair, where it says that matted hair doesn't make it a master, right? So the matted hair, the locks, it's been a way we have worn our hair time immemorial. So what angle is Jerome Sage Butler looking at locks on? Am I promoting myself? Well, you're watching Seala Media, and this is Jerome Sage Butler. Pardon me if I seem to be promoting myself. Please like and subscribe on Seala Media, you know what I mean? To keep up with the information, right? I'm approaching locks from the point of view that it is actually God-given. It's our hair. It's indigenous. When we were more naturally into the natural environment before we built the built environment, right, i.e. civilization, right, locks represented more than just a fashion statement. Yeah, for real. It was more of a survival mode. So then the grand master, the great master, would have the most matted hair. It would be the longest, thickly matted, and as they said, it was a shield from predators, wild animals, because I don't know if you have dreadlocks or if you wear your hair like this, but I do, right? Animals tend to be very afraid, especially if you approach them at night, or if you have it up in our little style, and you come up and say, hey! You know, somebody go, Yes, sure. And I'm not cruel to animals. Don't get it twisted, okay? I'm just saying, they tend to be very scared. But remember, some dreadlocks have matted here, you know, like really matted here, like, you know, really matted here. So, like, you can see, like, you know, I used to say, you know, bushman, you know, black art man, oh, coming to get you, right? Because the indigenous man with his locks was very dreadful and terrible. That's where the word dread and terror comes, especially in Rastafari when the Holy Light started to locks their hair, right? That's in like the 30s, right? Because they're original Holy Lights and they followed Garvey, they were Garveyites, right? So they started matting their ears and then they became, matting their hair and then they became Rastafari, right? So the Batawi in Ethiopia, a high priest, a most ancient priest, you know, through the Aksumite Empire, they've got matted here. And, you know, the ancient Dravidians in India, they also got matted here, right? The Saudis got matted here. And every indigenous nation from Syria right across to even old Europe have individuals with matted here. The indigenous man's matted here, like I said, it was more of a protection, wasn't a fashion statement, wasn't just a statement of naturality or religiosity or a reclamation of anciency, right? It was more a symbol or just his life, right? It was a
One thing about dreadlocks too is in the spirituality, dreadlocks connects you more to the cosmos and your ancestors. When you switch to the natural way and spirituality way of living, you know, get into the Rastafarian culture, you know, when you meditate, it's like one, it helps your signal. Two, it blocks away those bad spirits away from you. But you think of when you see dreadlocks, this is the simplest way I can probably put it. When you see dreadlocks on somebody, it's like a tree. Okay, you know how the tree has, you know, the roots, then it grows up, blossoms, and branches out. And it has its leaves and, you know, its branches and everything. But a tree is a solid living thing. Just a living plant that gives off oxygen, and everything that you need. It sometimes gives you fruit, gives you food, and everything. Well, humans the same way as the tree is. We grows up, we grow, and we grow. You know, we got legs, we got arms. You know, our legs is kind of like our roots. You know, that's what we get to where we going and everything. And our arms is the branches. Then it goes up to the top of the tree, which is our head. And, you know, our dreads are like branches too. And it gives off vibration. You know, the leaves are like the little nappy buds that hang off your dreads and everything. And it's just life. And it's just the tree of life, the Ankh. And that's what, you know, what I see with a person with dreads. Because at the top is wisdom. You know, the longer your dreads go, the more knowledge you got. Because that means the longer you live. You know, so to me, that's all to me.
her life. Her hair is how she wore her hair as protection from the elements, how she was in tune with the cosmic, how she was in tune with nature, and how the nature of her hair kept her connected to the Most High, right? So I'm approaching here from that standpoint, because when I first wanted to locks, my hair wanted to be like this. Though I had people telling me, well, you know, you need to survive, you know, you're in university, maybe you need to think about getting a job, you can get it if your locks is neat and all this stuff, right? So I had some issues with my hair at first, right? But eventually I settled it in as I settled into the understanding of myself, right? So then I begin to understand how it is that I am expressed through my hair. So then I realized it is an extension of my being, but it isn't the complete nature of my being, right? So I'm not bashing people who wear locks currently for fashion statements, right? Because who am I? Am I a judge or something? I wear my hair because it is my natural, you know, place and position in nature to be like this, right? And as I grow older, my hair is, all of it is becoming like that one I showed you, because I'm free past psychologists of hair and why you wear your hair. So I think the judgmental nature of people who are still looking at people with matted hair has some kind of a abhorrence to their connection is out of line, and I think it's time we get past these things, because I think for real we are overboard on that one. And my culture still has people who are judging you, though they have it in the textbooks that all of us are equal and you shouldn't discriminate. But locks is heavily regarded as a Rastafarian tradition in Jamaica, and so it is, because Rastafari have popularized locks in Jamaica. And some Rastas are offended that you have a class of maybe even, Eurocentric Christians who are wearing locks. Because I know some people, when they watch my channel, some Rastas, they don't like the Christian mindedness. Some Rastas, they love it, right? And some Christian people, they don't love it because it's too Rasta. But remember now, please don't know. This is my experience. Get with it, or, get with your own. I don't know. So, locks is basically for anyone that chooses to wear locks, wear their hair like this, right? Now, if you have a spiritual attachment, then you're going to either, wrap up your hair, maybe a bobo, maybe a bingi, maybe you're a Muslim, maybe whatever the reason why you cover your hair, what I mean? You have people who ascribe to their Rasta, but them have a Muslim, symbology and symbolism, and vice versa. You have Muslims who have a lot of Rastafarian symbolism too, and Jews with Rastafarian symbolism, some Jews with locks too. So I mean, you seem that the locks phenomenon is expanding. It's like we're going back to indigenous man. It's like we're going back to indigenous woman, indigenous self. That we can be like this. And my final point, not final, because there's no final. My next point I want to bring up, and I remember I'm trying to connect with my ancestors and the spirit as we're talking, right? And they're saying to me, because they want this point be known, so I'm just going to be very patient, I articulate it. They're saying to me to say to people who are like possibly judging people, they're saying, notice what I said about how my friends wanted me to grow my locks neat. The spirit is saying to me, especially in the modern society, that there are these fashion houses, what do you call them, salons, right, that are neatly twining people's hair and telling them that is how they lock their hair. The spirit is saying to cut that out. Seriously, cut that out. I'm not telling you don't be a beautician's dream. Stop telling people that's how to lock their hair. Please. Don't insult nature, okay? There are people who naturally are matting their hair as God allowed, or as God is allowing them, or how they're desiring it. And it's chunky, it's fat. Stop judging those people. Stop with your judgmental attitudes towards those people. Those people are some of the most brilliant minds, and their antennas, this natural communication tool with the cosmic that's picking up the vibratory signals of the ether, they're very aligned with it. That is why they got their hair up in all these nice fashion. This is why the spirit wants the hair to mat. It creates a stronger magnetism. See, I got to it because they told me be patient. So ancient man had a stronger magnetism because his hair was matted. Ancient woman's hair was matted all the way. It grew. It pulls the cosmic in. It attracted more knowledge, more energy, more awareness. Stop judging those brothers and those sisters with their humongous locks. Stop judging them. Please. Hallelujah. The soul is asking, cut it out. If they're popping up in your churches, understand them, or they're just going to move on. God will not forsake them because you can't have it in your mentality to see them as they are. But God is going to continue to speak to their heart, and they're going to continue to grow their hair like that. They're going to continue to mat it that way. Accept it. Accept yourself. There are a lot of people who they talk about they're so aware of who they are, and they cut their precepts daily. They cut their hair. You can search your scriptures. You can say, oh, remember where I started? No, I reached the Nazarene vow. I take my time. I'm not trying to do this to make money or try to be popular. I'm trying to relate a message. The Nazarene vow recounts what? No raise up on your head, up on your beard. Wasn't it wasn't it said to be a most divine connection between man and his creator? Wasn't it said to be a clear differential between male and female? Wasn't it a clearly defined order? Some says it's for a while. Who am I to say otherwise? Some says Nazarene vow is cycles, and you go to maybe 7 years, 21 years, whatever it is. Some say there are Nazarenes who do not have matted hair. That is true. but it doesn't grow, right? So, there are many ways to look at the Nazarene vow. The essence of matted hair or dreadlocks, is heavily presented to us as a postmodern attempt to recapture some antiquity, and hence the more cultural and fervent Rasta take offense to seeing certain groups of people parade with locks, right? And sometimes you have some people who think fashion is like a fashion statement, like those who are, twisting hair and talking about their locking it. Yeah, you, you know. So we understand.
Why are you coming at people like that? Yeah, you.
Because those same people who are doing that, it's unhealthy for the hair root,
Damaging
for the
your
true
roots.
hair follicle. You're damaging the hair by what you're doing. You know you're damaging the hair. And sorry, for some who don't know, you are damaging the hair by doing that. I hear people tell me all the while, oh, your hair is so beautiful, it's so healthy, what do you do?
That's when people go alopecia.
I think I should tell you, but I'll tell you in my testimony, right? Because I'm going to do the testimony, or the second half of my testimony today, right? So I'll tell you how it is that my hair looks so, as it's so beautiful, and why it is that the old one looks this way. I'll tell you, right? So there's a reason for everything. So to have healthy hair and to be yourself, just be true. Just be true to who you are. Your hair knows how it wants to be.
He did not answer it. Why his hair like that is he was doing it the traditional way, the way society wanted him to do it, which was getting it twisted, getting it rolled, palm rolled, and he did it for such a long time that it grew over time, and then he finally started, letting it just grow out, and that's why it's looking like maintained, but a little bit it's nappy up top, but maintained on the old locks. Because you got to think about it, probably those tips of his locks are probably like a half an inch or about 2 inches of those locks, probably like 7, 8, 9 years old. So that's why his hair looked maintained.
Some people, their hair will never mat and it will never grow past their shoulders. Some people will always mat into thick, congealed bunch or one. Because what? It's the frequency they're on. It's the energy. Just like the First Nations or the ancient peoples. So honor your dreadlock. Honor your hair traditions. Love your hair for what it is. And don't judge the other nations. Because it's in all traditions. So let us be real, you know what I mean? But love your locks, Love your traditions because of dreadlocks. Love Rastafari. And if this is how you have come to matted hair, just love it. But remember, Buddha had matted hair. Just remember that there is a history, a culture, an anciency surrounding matted hair or locks hair. Rastafari, Yahshua, divine Christ, our ancestors be praised, be loved. Thank you all, brilliant locks.
That's it for this video, man. Like I said, man, is it Seala? Yeah, I think he said Seala Media. Jerome Sage Butler is the man that's speaking. And like I said, it's another Rastafarian, man. Just spend knowledge on the locks, man. Locks are very important to those for spiritual reasons of why they got locks. The reason I got locks, I always wanted to have locks, but I always had bad hair. I wasn't taking care of my hair growing up. I finally took care of it my senior year. Finally be able to grow a thick enough afro to grow braids and this, that, and the third. And, I always wanted them because, like I said, one of my favorite people that ever lived was Bob Marley. And he always inspired me to get locks. I did it the traditional way. Well, not the traditional way. I didn't freeform them. I got it twisted up and everything. And then I decided to let it grow. My locks are, a year and a couple months now. I had my locks for a year and a couple months. I decided to let it grow early this year. Would that be right before the coronavirus, March this year? So, it's been a couple months. I got some congos. I can't imagine what my hair's gonna look like when it's all matted, but I'm just rambling at this point. That's it for this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.